Distrusted enforcers and power without proof. Poor up the misused and those hopeless who spoke the search for strange stories once led you to the stars. Now you dig for plain bones in your own backyard. Sympathy is turned to the old men who abuse, set against the furious people who they use. Was the fear of the fight or greed for scapegoat that made you less radical since you grew old? Maybe you grew tired holding knowledge of the world's end. Drop perspective in pursuit of solving all problem. We were so disappointed, but we were hardly shocked. Weren't the first to be bitten by a rabid fox. There's no changing intent, but I want to believe our fates might be different than yours came to be. Okay.
You're listening to 103.7 CFBU Bruck Radio, broadcasting from downtown St. Catharines, offering you an alternative voice for music and events in your city. Today, I have the members of Leafy Greens in studio to talk to us about their music. The Leafy Greens is Emily Coopery and Jade Wallace, and they are the ukulele-bearing folk rock duo based in St. Catharines. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So it's really nice to have you here. And that last song that we played is off their forthcoming EP called Conspiracy Theory. And did you want to talk a little bit about that song and how it came to be?
Sure. So we're both really huge fans of The X-Files, and to celebrate the reboot coming on, we decided to write 4 songs about The X-Files and maybe a bonus song too.
Yeah, they're kind of like loving parodies of the X-Files. We just feel like there's a lot of great material in there to talk about. It's a really funny show, and sometimes people tend to focus more on like the supernatural elements of it, or literally the conspiracy elements of it. But the humor is really what we wanted to bring out in the songs.
Nice. And you've been together for 2 years now, creating music?
Maybe a little more than that.
Yeah,
Maybe
at least
almost
3.
3 years, yeah. So how did you meet and decide you wanted to play together?
We actually met at a Strega open mic night, like when Strega Cafe was open, having open mic nights. And I think Emily commented on the fact that we both play ukulele. And then we were like, that's a great reason to start a band.
Obviously.
So,
and we were both INTJ. If anybody's ever taken the Myers-Briggs test, we realized that we were both like basically the exact same person. So we should clearly be in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That makes sense.
I guess, if you don't like diversity in your bands.
Also, I've read that you've played a variety of different show venues over the time that you've been together, from art show openings to the Veg Fest in Niagara, and well, actually here in St. Catharines, and also at Poetry Slam open mics you've also played. Just wondering what that's like playing in different venues and what your experience has been.
Well, it's definitely interesting, like sometimes we're not really knowing what to expect from the crowd and stuff like that. I mean, I think that the biggest crowd we've ever played to is definitely at the Veg Fest, and people were into it.
Yeah, it's I think it's great because you get to sort of explore different aspects of your own music. Like playing an art show, it's fine to like get out a murder ballad and sing it, but if you're at Veg Fest, it's not obviously appropriate and no one's going to really be into it. But yeah, I think I'd like to think that our music is kind of eclectic sometimes, and and playing different venues just allows us to play with that.
Okay, and at Veg Fest, what songs did you end up going with?
We used quite a bit of theremin at Veg Fest because it was like
That's
a
true.
big, like, loud space. It was kind of appropriate. We played some of our Sherlock songs, and we even wrote one song specifically for Veg Fest that was about, like, vegetarian
Yeah.
issues.
Like, I'm vegan, pro animal rights and all that, so we thought it would be like a nice chance to actually try and do something not too like didactic, but just supportive of animals.
Nice. And for those of our listeners that don't know about your Sherlock and X-Files fan songs, did you want to share a little bit about that and how you got into that?
Yeah, I guess it was just a really good opportunity for us to be silly and just sort of explore songwriting in a less serious way, and kind of, yeah, it's a parody, basically, of the two shows, and yeah, and just to show, like, our, like, pure enjoyment of them. Yeah. Just fun projects.
Nice. So we're going to play one of your songs. We're going to play To Be a Cat. Can you let us know about this song? How did this song come together?
Well, I can take sort of responsibility for the lyrics anyways. When we write, usually, like, I do the lyrics. Emily tends to do the music because she's more musically gifted than I am. And, I mean, you'll kind of see it in the lyrics, but the lyrics are actually about my childhood when I desperately wanted to be a horse originally. And as I've got older and more tired, now I kind of just want to be a cat at home asleep most of the time. It's kind of a bittersweet song, I think.
Okay, so we're going to play To Be a Cat, and you've been listening to 103.7 FM, CFBU, and we're in studio with the Leafy Greens.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a horse or some more magical quadruped form, like a brave centaur or a wise unicorn. I would run through fields, imagining the feeling of my four long legs, endlessly galloping in the scent of the sweet grass, wind gusting. I would be wild, still kind-hearted though, carrying the weary where they needed to go, helping when I had to, believing as the wind blows. Now I'm old and I don't think of that. All I want now is to be a cat. I don't want to fly, I don't want to run. I want to lay by a window that lets in the sun, and have my hair brushed sometimes by someone who afterwards won't cling to me. Just pet me, feed me, let me sleep, but still let me have you to keep. I wanna be adored like a cat is adored, loved even when crying, scornful or bored, left alone when I want to, but not ignored. It's an idea I embrace, unresisting, that not needing to work to keep subsisting and multiplying joy just by existing. Call me selfish or lazy, they will be false words. I only have feeling dreams because of how hard I've worked. Now I think this whole human thing is for the birds. I just wanna be a pudgy old cat, growing more cute as I grow more fat. I've already got whiskers and hairy old ears. If I were a cat, they'd make people endeared. I want to wear the infamous cat's pajamas. If no more doctors tell me eat more bananas,
keep.
And that was To Be a Cat by the Leafy Greens. And I'm in studio with two members of the Leafy Greens, Emily Coopery and Jade Wallace. And we've been talking a bit about their music and what inspired them to write together and play music. And I just wanted to ask also about this last song, what instruments were played and who plays which instruments on this last song, To Be a Cat?
I think Emily was just playing ukulele. It was like really minimalist.
Yeah. I think that recording was one of our more simple ones. Usually we have at least two instruments, but yeah.
Nice. And do you have any favorite instruments outside of the ukulele that you like to bring in to your songs?
Well, like we use guitar sometimes. It's just pretty standard, but I think it's cool when Emily plays theremin.
Yeah, I like playing the theremin. I'm not that great at it yet, but it kind of just sounds cool no matter what, so it's pretty easy. We also have a melodica, which has yet to make its way into any of our songs, but we're looking forward to the day.
Well, we were supposed to have a kazoo at some point, but that also hasn't worked out yet. We're working on it. We use egg shakers sometimes.
Oh, nice, nice.
And we have a banjo lele in one of our upcoming songs.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask you is about the songwriting process, and because in listening to some of your songs, I noticed that it's the songs are very, very, for lack of a better word, dense. But like a lot of stuff is happening in the lyrics, and I really appreciate the songwriting on your songs. So I just wanted to ask who in the group does the writing, if it's a collaborative effort or if it's something you do on your own.
Well, Jade is definitely responsible for all of the lyrics. That is true.
Well, mostly true, because like sometimes Emily will come to me with like an idea of what she wants us to write about, and then I'll go back and like bring her the lyrics. But like Emily definitely does basically all of the music. There's a couple songs I've done sort of the music for, but it does not come naturally to me at all.
Yeah, and usually we write our songs when we're apart. Like I don't think we've ever written a song together. No, usually it's just sending things back and forth by email and just improving every time.
Like we live in different cities, so like I'll do the lyrics, send them to Emily, and then she'll come up with something, and then like next time we play together, we'll like talk about it, whether it's working and stuff. But there's a lot of like solitude style work.
Yep.
Okay. So I was gonna play one more song, and I'm gonna play Luna. Did you want to say anything about this song?
Yeah, I think this one was my idea.
Yeah, it was.
A Luna moth is one of my favorite animals, so it's a song actually about a moth. And I just think they're very like beautiful, magical creatures, and there's a lot of like brilliant imagery that goes along with them and their life cycle and all that. So we wrote a song about a Luna moth.
Nice. So you've been listening to 103.7 FM, and I'm in studio with the Leafy Greens. They're a local St. Catharines band, and I'm going to be playing Luna.
While near the slumber
And we're back in studio with the Leafy Greens, and we just heard their song Luna, and that's about a Luna moth. And I now wanted to ask about a show that was recently played in Toronto. Unfortunately, the two of you couldn't be there together, but Jade, you ended up going to play. Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, this is sort of one of the downfalls of being a band that's in two cities. Like, Emily's in St. Catharines, I'm in Toronto, which is great in that we can, like, book gigs in both cities, but not so great when our schedules conflict and, like, we have a show in Toronto and, like, it's obviously hard to make it there, or vice versa. But, like, the good thing about having two band members also is that, like, one of you can go and sort of, like, represent the band. So that's what we did last night. So I went and played to some people. It was cool. It was a small press. It's called Death Cookie Soup Press, and they publish zines by, like, local Toronto writers and artists. And the gig, I guess, was just sort of, they were promoting some of, like, the zines they've recently published, and it was at this really cool venue in downtown Toronto. It was all, like, dark and, you know, lit with Christmas lights, and they had these ping pong tables and TVs going and stuff. Like, it was a really I don't know, like, an interesting space. Like, there's just a lot of different things sort of going on in the space to look at and, like, art related. So it's pretty cool.
And do you think you might be able to go back there and play together in the future?
That would be ideal. We'll work about.
Hopefully.
Yeah, actually, it was funny. This press, we played a previous show for them too. Like, when they did the launch of the press, they're sort of joking that we're becoming their, like, spokesband because we just, like, we're the one that's always playing their shows. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have a sponsorship in the future if zines ever take off.
That'd be nice. And you also have a show tonight. You'll be playing at Mate.
Yeah, it's not really our show. We're just playing the open mic at the Poetry Slam tonight, but it should be a good time. I think we're going to play 3 songs.
Okay. And what time do you think you might go on?
I think it starts at 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in seeing the Leafy Greens, you can catch them at Mate tonight around 7:30. It will be at the open mic before the Poetry Slam. So that'd be a great chance to see them live. So yeah, I want to thank both of you for coming in today and talking about your music, and really enjoyed the songs that we talked about and played.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And you've been listening to 103.7 FM.